Hello, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. On our last episode, we made our delivery to Bakersfield and worked ourselves a little bit further away from the home terminal, but today we're going to be changing that a little bit. And I came over here to this service station, that little area, if you remember from my last episode, that we were going to stop and rest at was actually a another headquarters that we could buy. So I ended up having to come over here to this Peterbilt dealership, and we're going to go ahead and see what we can get to work our way back to Kansas. So let's go over here to Freight Market, and we're going to see what we can get coming out of Bakersfield. That's going back west or east. So Casper, Wyoming, that's a pretty decent one. And or we could take and go to Gallup, New Mexico. See, we just delivered to Rail Export, so we'd have to go back there. That's not too big of a deal. But this one here of ethanol to Casper, Wyoming, that is a little bit better of a payout. It ultimately isn't going to matter too much. We can afford to upgrade the shop. We can't afford yet to buy the new truck, but by the time we get back to Kansas, we'll be able to do that with ease. So we're going to go ahead and grab this one to Casper, and that's going to give us a pretty decent run. That's about 1,000 miles, give or take. So yeah, that'll be worth quite a bit of money. So let's go ahead and set our GPS destination for that, and we'll get rolling here. Oh, come on. There. Forgot I was in high range. So we'll go ahead and head back out from the dealership here. We're going to jump over this curb, squeeze in between these two cars. That's not a big deal. We're going to just jump out here. Anybody that's behind us can stay behind us. Usually not the best way to go about doing that, but we had the ability, so why not? So we're gonna have to make a left-hand turn up here. It's not a big deal. We got to come to a stop. Doesn't that figure? So I'm actually going to start in third so that we don't take as much time to get rolling. And we will see what we see. We'll see how long it takes us to get there. I'll tell you what, I hit every red light coming over to that Peterbilt dealership. And it kind of upset me because they pinged me twice for not getting enough sleep. But, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully we'll catch these lights right, but I doubt we will. We don't, of course. So we'll just creep along here at about 15-20 miles an hour. See if we can't catch this one. Nope. Well, we tried. Looks like we're probably going to end up hitting about every red light we can here. Can't get that lucky. At least there's nobody in front of us right now. Okay. So we're going to be going to Wyoming, and that's a place that I've been to a few times. It seemed to be my dispatcher with night liked sending me to Wyoming quite a lot. I would drive from I would drive between Casper and or not Casper but Cheyenne and Denver on quite a regular basis. He seemed to like keeping me out there. He also seemed to not hear me every time I said I didn't like going out there because I refuse to chain a vehicle. I do not want to do it. I'll sit for a month before I'll chain a vehicle. It won't break my heart at all. So, man, it would be nice if we could actually hit the dang lights and not have to to stop at every single one. Seems like we always come up to them right as they turn red. Yeah, I know that was a cop, but you know what? Maybe he shouldn't try and pull out in front of somebody. Be just a little bit smarter. Well, 2 miles. Yep, that figures. Red light. Alright, so we are going to go pick up our load now, and hopefully we can actually get there. Yeah, okay. Now, why are we hitting every dang light? That's ridiculous. Stall it out again. Okay, we're back. I keep forgetting to change certain settings, and it's like, okay, I gotta do this while I'm recording because it's too late to start this episode over. Um, but it is what it is, and we're going now. So maybe if we're lucky, we won't run into a detour every single damn time we have a load to deliver. Because I went in and switched that around. Took it from 50% of the time, which was unreasonably large, to 5%, which should be more realistic. I also adjusted a couple of other settings and checked my buttons. And that was the 2 cuts that we just saw happen. Thankfully, we were sitting at a light when they both happened, so very little should have changed in terms of what you guys were seeing. Should have been barely noticeable, if at all. Hey, we might actually hit this light when it's green. How about that? We're going to hit the next light when it's red, but oh well. Hell, by the time we get there, we might have to sleep again. Seems like it's taken a long enough time. God damn! That's California. Okay, so we're going to go in here and pick up a load of ethanol and go to Casper, if I'm not mistaken. These gates take so damn long to go. Let's go. Alright, so we'll go in here. We want our load to Casper. Yes. Take job. Okay. So we're going after this one that's right here. This first one to our right. So we'll pull through and back up to it. Kind of came over a little bit too far, but that's all right. I've never particularly liked approaching a trailer directly in line. It makes it very difficult to see. But there's no harm in it. Was a little bit steeper of an angle than I should have, but there's no harm in approaching it slightly cockeyed like I am right now. In fact, it tends to not only help you see, but it also tends to, in my case anyway, it tends to help line everything up. Now that's not always the case, but most of the time it works like that. So we're going to come right over here, and we're going to stop, and we're going to plan our route because we've got 1,000 miles to go, and we're definitely going to have to stop. So, world map. So we ended up making it up to from Salt Lake, or Ogden rather, to Bakersfield in one day. But we're not going to go that far. We're going to go right over here for our first stop. And that's just shy. Well, maybe we can get a little further than that, but I'm not going to push it. And then we should be able to make it the rest of the way. We should be able to make it the rest of the way. Yeah, we'll be able to make it the rest of the way. Looking up here, you can see my mouse around here. We'll be able to see that, or we'll be able to get all the way there. We've got 531 miles to our next checkpoint, and we've got a total distance of 978. So that's a little bit more than halfway. That's a reasonable amount of drive time. 10 hours, 2 minutes. I'm good with that. That's typically when I want to start shutting down anyway. So we'll do it that way. All right, let's get rolling here. Around wide because my truck and trailer was bent around at an awkward angle. We got to get out of here. Now you'll notice I did not check for traffic, but we don't always need to here. We probably should have, but we saw in episode 2 that doing that doesn't mean very much. Now we just checked, it's clear. We're going to go ahead and go. And I'm almost willing to bet that we get slammed at some point. Oh, come on. Jesus, that's 6th position, man. And maybe we'll be lucky and get out of here at a halfway respectable time. Shift into 6 low before we get to the tracks. Let off the gas, or let off the throttle. I keep wanting to call it gas, and that's not really a thing. There is no such thing as a gas pedal in a semi. If there is, you got problems. I know way back when there used to be, but not anymore. Not anymore. Before diesel came around, it was steam or gasoline. Problem is, steam was usually better than... Oh, no, we want 4, not 8. We want 5. Now we're 5 high, that's alright. We'll make it. Yeah, the problem is, gasoline engines back then weren't very good, so most of them were steam. And then diesel came along, and it was so much better. Gasoline back then was a byproduct. Somebody decided to put it in a... Or decided to design a gas-powered internal combustion engine, and there you go. That's how it worked. Where you get some trucks from 1900s, 1900 on up to about 1914. You'll see some of them actually have gas-powered engines, but not very many. By that time, they were starting to incorporate diesel into it, but a lot of them were still steam then, too. And that's a whole nother topic that I'm not going to get into because I have my opinions about steam power. And people that know me well enough to know that I prefer steam power to a lot of things. We started off in a higher gear than we should have, but that's alright, we're moving now. Okay, so I flipped the range selector up before I changed into 5 low. I was not in neutral when I did that. Now, typically you don't want to do that, but I have found from experience it doesn't really hurt the transmission at all. It's just one of those deals where here we are with hitting every single light. Now, revving the engine like that does hurt the engine, but oh well. But yeah, swapping the range selector like that while you're in gear doesn't really hurt the transmission. It's just not really a good practice to have. But it's kind of one of those bad habits. Like, people tell you, you shouldn't brake with your left foot because it's a bad habit. The problem is, I found I've got more control over an automatic than I do with just driving with one foot. And the ironic thing is, I use my right foot to brake in a manual because I've got my left foot on the clutch. I've got to use my left foot for the clutch, so I have to use my right foot for the brake. But in an automatic, I use my left foot for the brake. Nope. I think we want 4. Took that a little wide, but that's okay. Oh, come on, light. Hopefully we can get up to our turn before the next red light. Looks like we might even be able to go through it. Nope, not here. Not this one. Nope, we're not going to be able to get through it. That's all right. Yeah, there's that Peterbilt dealership where we just started. We've come just about full circle. How about that? Off the highway to go back on the highway. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I'm gonna get this video recorded, and then I'm probably gonna end up having to break for a little bit and record, or not break break from recording this, but just break in general from recording to just take a break and clear out my... Oh shit, that'd be bad. We'll just hang in 6 high for a bit. Oh, better stay over in this lane. Cops might get upset if we move over into the center lane. Clear out inboxes and all that good stuff before my next record session. Because I've got a BioShock episode to do for this week, and today is actually Christmas, and I said I wasn't going to record on Christmas, but as it turns out, it was a fairly slow day and nothing really major happened, so it's like, I can record for a little while. It's not too big of a deal. To get me ahead on a couple of things. And we're going uphill, so naturally my truck doesn't want to do the speed limit. Now when we go to buy the larger truck, or the upgrade for the shop, and we go to buy the next truck, I will continue to upgrade this truck. I will continue to put money into it, and with any luck it will be useful for what we need it to be useful for. Now you saw me hit my 4-ways as we were going up that hill, my hazards, and that is because that is just out of habit. In my part of the country, you have a minimum and a maximum speed limit. Now semis cannot do the minimum speed limit as fast as cars can, like coming up off of a on-ramp or an off-ramp or something, something like that, and merging into highway traffic. They can't do the minimum speed as quickly as a car can. So while it's not required, it's a good practice to be in, to turn your 4-ways on, your hazard lights, turn them on until you reach the minimum speed limit. At which point you are no longer a road hazard, legally speaking. So it's one of those deals where, it's kind of good practice. People know to go around you if you got your 4-ways on. And you can get up to speed at your own pace at that point. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to just drive down the road at 35 mile an hour, because everybody and their brother knows that these trucks can do the speed limit, or they can do close enough to the speed limit. right now. I've got my cruise control set at 55, which is, for California, it's the maximum speed limit that we can go. So if I was to tool along at 35 mile an hour, I would actually be impeding the flow of traffic. Okay, what lane do I need to be in? Road work ahead. What lane is closed? Looks like the left lane. Hopefully nobody comes screaming up by here and nobody else puts on their damn brakes. Looks like Numbnuts up here is going to put on his brakes. Hey, how about that? He didn't. End of road work. Lord. Now one truck up there just parked in the middle of the road, parked in the road with a crash bumper on the back and road work ahead. And next sign you see, end of road work. That's stupid. But whatever. All right, so we're coming up to a point here. I'm gonna slow myself down because I don't want to end up going around this corner faster than what I can handle. And as we saw in the last episode, that's real easy to do. At a nice leisurely 40 mile an hour. It's about 15 below the recommended speed limit, which is actually what you should be doing. And we can even start to speed up now. Our next stop is our rest stop, our rest for the night. I'm coming over whether you like it or not, fella. That speed back down to 55 before we get a ticket. Stupid as hell, but whatever. Back in Barstow. As if we ever left. No, we did, but we're back in Barstow. Now, one thing that we are gonna be doing in this series, once the DLC comes out for it, is we are going to be buying a car, and we'll go and explore some of these places. And we'll have a car in each city that we've got headquarters. We've got a terminal. And we'll go and explore some of these areas in better detail, find some of the secrets and all that good stuff. Now, my Patreons may be able to see that. I don't know if I'm going to make episodes out of that or not, but there's a pretty good chance that for those of you who join up to Patreon, when that DLC comes out, that is for those of you who joined the Patreon, so it's not connected. When that DLC comes out, that's what you know, I'll stream some of that stuff. We'll explore some of this map when we're not actually working and running cargo across the country. If you guys who are just here on YouTube actually want to see content like that, want to just see me drive around and explore the different cities, by all means, let me know. Put it down in the comments. I want to hear about it. I want to know what you guys want to see. But if I don't hear anything about that when the DLC comes out, you know, I'll showcase the DLC when it comes out. Look, Louisiana is already pretty well covered, so by the time I get to Louisiana, it's going to be old news for a lot of people that watch these videos. So I'm not really going to showcase it, but I will showcase the next run of DLC that comes out. And the car packs are one of them. Ford and Dodge both. And personally, I'm more of a Dodge fanatic than I am Ford, but we'll be looking at both of them. And I've got my preferences on vehicles too, so. Yeah, as far as that goes, the new state DLCs that are coming out, I am actually very looking forward to those. I want to see what those have to offer. Okay. But I didn't see not seeing a wait station anywhere. Do I need to move over yet? I think I do. So we'll just go ahead and move over now. Truck coming onto the highway. It's alright, he's got us by a good mile or two. Looks like we're coming up to another port entry. Nope. Truck lane, slow vehicles only. Stupid people too. Hey, I'm both. Why not, you know? Slow vehicle and stupid people. If anybody watched the last episode, you could definitely tell that. May end up having to hit our four-ways here before too long if our truck can't keep the speed. But that's something I expect, and we'll probably end up having to do that as we're going through Colorado. At least I think we're going to go through Colorado. I didn't really look too close at the routing solution. But it's I-15 most of the way. Where is the... I know we've got a dang port entry coming up soon. Because we had it coming in. We're going to have it going back out too. Get our 7 high there. Whoops. Turn our cruise control back on and just go. Had to adjust my seat. That's why I almost drove off the road. I am not a small guy, so I kind of bumped the steering wheel when I sat up straight. Doing the speed limit, you're trying to pass me and you don't have the balls to do it, stay in behind me where you belong. Well, there's the port entry that we saw coming in. What are we going to have going out? I was under the impression it was both ways. It is in real life. Of course, the way going out is usually not open. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I remember it wrong. Now that truck stop you see over there on the map, and it's literally right there. That's true to fact. Primm is the last truck stop outside of California, or yeah, outside of California before you get to the well, I say Primm, but there is only one truck stop before you get out or get into California that you can on I-15 that you can stop at to scale your load. And if you're not legal up to that point, you're lucky. If you're not legal and you pass that scale, your ass is grass. They will fine you 6 ways from Sunday. So we can actually put the hammer down and get rolling now. So let's do that. Leave California in our wake. Get the hell out of Dodge. So coming up on Vegas. I don't know why my engine brake kicked on. Didn't want it to. I do now though. That turn in Las Vegas is actually there. It actually exists, and it is very tight. Now, I have been to Las Vegas. In fact, I had an Instagram my first few days with Night, and I've since deleted it. But I had a picture of the pyramid there in Las Vegas. And I've been to Las Vegas a couple of times, and I'll be honest with you, there's no magic there for me. It's a beautiful city at night. It's disgusting in the daytime. It's filthy. I do not. I'll go to Las Vegas, but you know, I don't have a problem with it. Not near as much as I do with Los Angeles. But it is nowhere near as beautiful as it looks at night. It's nowhere near as beautiful as it looks in postcards or pictures or anything like that. I mean, it is. A lot of the places are showing their age in a big way. You know, that's what I mean. Filthy, run down. It's really not as nice as it used to be. But we actually need to downshift here. Get our speed back up. One thing I wish that this, and maybe I just need to explore the settings a little bit, but one thing I wish that the GPS would do in here is talk to you, let you know what you're coming up to, but I don't think it can. Oops. So we're going to have to stop someplace for fuel here before too long, which isn't too big of a deal. You know, we can find a place to fuel up faster than we can find a place to sleep. 75 through here, so that's what I'm going to do, and if anybody needs to get in front of me, they need to do it quick, and they need to be at the speed limit. At least I'm gonna try and do the speed limit. My truck's not wanting to get it going. Looks like everybody and their brother's slowing down up here. Yeah, I find it funny, the more I play this game, you know, the longer I play it, you know, which is why I try to do two, sometimes three of these videos at a time. The longer I play this, the more into the old habits that I get. Like the actual driving position where I'm actually looking up, you know, physically looking up, but actually staring out straight ahead. Okay, people, come on. I had to put my damn Jake brake on going uphill because nobody can seem to do the damn speed limit. Or go around the truck that can't do it. Personally, with everybody and their brother flying by me on the left here, I really can't go around anybody. Right at the top of the hill, we go below 40. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Hopefully we can get up to speed and actually be able to do the speed that we need to do up here. Yes, I know I'm running out of fuel. I've anticipated that already. Thank you. That looks like we got ourselves a wait station. There's a port of entry. Yep, that figures. Oh, I can bypass. Okay. It said I can bypass it. I read it wrong. Got one jackass in a car. Swing in yet. So we're going faster than everybody else. So slower traffic, keep right, and I'm pulling on this guy. I'm not in any problem. I'm not at any fault. Even if I am holding up traffic, they can wait for a little while. we've got an exit up here with fuel. Looks like, maybe. Maybe not. I am doing 70 miles an hour and I'm coming up on these people. This guy's riding right on me. Thank you. Get the hell out of my way. I'm actually doing freaking speed limit. Or close to it. So I'm going to go into my navigation menu here real quick if I can't see a truck stop pop up on the GPS here. So we're going to take care of that real quick. Find out where our next truck stop is. Because we are almost out of fuel. Alright, so that's a gas station. There's a truck stop. We'll go in there. And our next... yeah, Cedar City. We'll make it to Cedar City. That's not an issue. Why we can't... Why? I don't... Okay, whatever. We'll get to Cedar City and continue on when we get fuel. We're going to see if this truck will pull the speeds that we need it to pull, and hopefully we don't run out of fuel before we get there. Of course, with us pulling uphill, it's not going to be a very fast trek to get up there, is it? At least we have the power to do it. Tell you what, if I'd started filming this when we were only able to do 40 mile an hour, that'd be a problem, big problem. These runs would be long, man, long. You're talking 2 or 3 or 4 episodes long. Alright, so we are back in Cedar City and we are on our way to fueling up. Now we're not going to run out of fuel before we get there, so that's a good sign. That's a good thing. Because it's just right here up at the next exit. But we are gonna try and maintain our speeds here. Engine brake prohibited. Hey, guess what? I don't think I really need it that much anyway. There, get fueled up, call it good. Oh, we're lugging it. That's alright. Get up this hill, we'll be fine. We're not going to stop. But with that, we are here at our truck stop. Just as the rain comes in. How about that? Looks like that's closed, so that's nice. Truck entrance or truck exit? Trucks. Okay, well, it's right there. That's fine. And coming back. And we are right in line, more or less. Helps if I'm actually far enough forward. There we go. Alright. And I will fill up and then I'll be right back. Right back. Man, you talk about expensive fuel, man. 840 bucks for one fill up. Now we're going to go around and we're going to go right back out. And that is usually how it works. Got a turn lane here. That's something I learned a long time ago. Yes, you see that I didn't turn my headlights on. Well, I've already got them on. I've got them on all the time. I don't turn them off. I mainly do this for I mainly do that for safety. Like, in all seriousness, I will drive with my headlights on at all times. And stupid as it may seem, and I've actually had this happen, if you got your lights on and a cop pulls you over, and they let you know that your taillight's out, if you get out and check it, you know, have a headlight out, yeah, I know about it, I'm going to get it fixed now, they usually won't write you a ticket. But if you ask a cop when they pull you over, if you can get out and check to see which taillight is out, chances are they're probably not going to write you a ticket, because you don't exactly know which light is out unless you've got a system in your car, which I do not. And I've never seen a semi-truck that does, that will tell you which light is out. You won't know. Just turn them all the way up. Now, one thing I did do is increase the chance for increase the chances for rain from, I think it was 5% to 15. So this is probably about a more average chance for inclement weather. I don't think we're going to have to worry going through this construction zone about our speed, because for whatever reason we can't seem to manage a speed anyway. Doesn't want to do the speed limit. Now that we're on flat ground, maybe it will. And we're back to green flag racing. there's a lot of people. Oops. Helps if I maintain the road, huh? There's a lot of people. You had to do that? Really? There's a lot of people, come on, people. It is 80 through here. Maybe I'll eventually get to be able to say what I want to say. There's a lot of people don't like driving in heavy rain or snow and ice and stuff like that. Once you've been behind the wheel of a truck, it doesn't bother you near as much. And there's good reason for that. Once you're able to handle something of this size, and we're talking 80,000 pounds, 80 to 120,000 pounds, all total. Once you're able to handle something that size on the highway in inclement weather, there is a pretty good chance that you're not going to be too terribly bothered in a smaller vehicle. Now, it's still extremely stupid to try and drive at speed, but you'll have a better understanding of how your vehicle will behave in those situations than a lot of people. If you're driving a semi and you go from a semi to a car, you're going to have a better understanding of how the vehicles will behave. And something that always used to kind of make me chuckle a little bit, and you know, I understand her reasoning for it. I understand her reasoning for it, and I'm not going to go into detail on it. But my mother doesn't like to drive in inclement weather, and it used to make me laugh a lot. Not really, you know, maniacal laughing, but just, you know, just a chuckle. Is she didn't like to drive in the rain. She would always go really slow, or, you know, just barely below the speed limit. And it used to make me chuckle, and the only reason that it made me chuckle is because I remember driving, I want to say it was Cedar Rapids. I was up near Cedar Rapids, and I got into this rainstorm that was not too very dissimilar to what we just went through. And man, I'll tell you, I could not see, in that rain, I could not see the distance between us and that car, that black car right in front of us. I couldn't see that far ahead of me. But everybody was passing me like I was standing still, and there's our stop, and we just went right by it. That's okay. We're going to do something here real quick. We're going to get rid of that one, and we're just going to go to the next one, because I'm not going to backtrack. And the next one looks like it's going to be this rest stop right here. So we'll do that. It's pushing it, but we can make it. Yeah, that's really pushing it, but we can make it. Yeah. It really is pushing it, but we can make it. We're going a decent clip. We don't have to start, stop, and all this good stuff. But yeah, I want to say it was Cedar Rapids, but we were going through that. I was going through that rain. Couldn't see 30 feet in front of me. It was amusing. I was white knuckle the whole way, but everybody was passing me like I was standing still. And after that, I really didn't think twice about driving in the rain. It's like, okay, I know how a vehicle will handle in this weather. And it it was one of those deals where, come on. It was just one of those deals where once I figured out how the vehicle was going to handle, it just didn't bother me anymore. Now, that's not to say that there weren't times where I couldn't drive, or not, I couldn't drive. There's not to say there weren't times where I wasn't scared to drive in it, but I knew that it would be more or less okay. Do we think we can do the speed limit, people? Come on. Holy cow. But I'll tell you what, the one really nerve-wracking experience that I had was up in Montana. And I was driving through what amounted to a whiteout blizzard. You could not see 10 feet in front of that vehicle. And by the time I got to where I was going, it was the middle of the night. But yeah, you most definitely, you could not see 10 feet in front of you with the windshield wipers and your brights on. And that was hair-raising, because I was scared to death that I would be driving off the side of the road at any point. I couldn't see the sides of the road. I couldn't see the lines on the road, nothing. There was just nothing around it. And what scared me about that was that as I was driving up to my destination, to where I was going to be picking up the load that I needed, I got passed by another semi going the opposite direction. Now I'm doing 25, 30 mile an hour trying to get to where I'm going without dying. And this guy comes screaming through, and he passed me doing every bit of 70 mile an hour. I mean, he was going full speed. I couldn't see where I was going at all, so I don't know how he could. But yeah. After that, I really didn't mind driving in the snow and ice so much with my own personal vehicle. But it finally got to the point here a few years back where I say, if I can't even make it a mile from my driveway, I'm not going to work. And by that time, I was working for a machine shop in a few miles from where I lived, about a 45-minute drive. And it really pissed my boss off that I did that a couple of times. I said, man, it's not safe to be out here. I'm not coming into work. I just about drove off the road twice just trying to get here. I'm not coming in. And he didn't particularly care for that, but he was okay with it. He accepted it. And it got to the point, it genuinely got to the point where I would say, if it's because, and the reason I used to say this is because he used to, or his he shouldn't have slowed down. His shop where I worked was right across his backyard from where he lived. And I used to say, yeah, if the roads are good enough for him to work across or walk across his backyard to get to work, they're good enough for his employees to get in. Oh, come on, get in gear, god damn it. Now this is gonna be fun. There we go. Now we've got a gear. So now we got to get up this hill. And get to our truck stop, and we're not going to be able to pass this one up. Not by any manner of means. hopefully we can get there fairly soon, fairly short order. But yeah, I shouldn't have passed that. I should have been paying more attention. I shouldn't have passed that one up. But I wasn't about to turn around and go back to it. So it is what it is. Here we go. We're almost there. Turn my engine brake on and see if it actually makes a difference to turn it all the way up. Nope, no difference, no change. Kidding. Never would have thought that. Let's see, can I? All right. Dark as hell out here. All right. Mountains with the clouds. Yep, it's dark. Get in there. Thank you. Hit our four ways until we get up to speed. Shouldn't take too very long. Engine brake back off. Here we go. Now we are rolling again. All that traffic that wasn't there half a second ago just spawned in behind us. Back up to 80 mile an hour. I don't think we'll ever get there, but that's where we are. But yeah, there we go. Bypass wait station. I don't think we're going to get to bypass it. They're going to call us in. I'll almost be willing to bet. Yep. That figures. So here we go again. The vehicle is not in a perfect technical state. Yeah, we know. By the time we get back to Kansas, I can absolutely guarantee you we're going to have enough to completely restore this truck and buy a new one and the upgrade for the terminal. That's almost a guarantee. We're gonna have a long way to go to get there. got about 270 miles left to go. Yeah, that'll be about a good distance, a good time. We'll see what we can get next episode. Get in there. Thank you. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll actually start moving again. Lose so much speed when that thing doesn't want to register that it's in a gear. Hit the downhill slide. Carry on a moving. Right. Should be there in bit over 4 hours. Now, like I said earlier, I think it was in the last episode. It might have been this episode. I'm recording them both. I record them both at the same time, so this one's immediately following the previous episode, like less than 5 minutes difference. So I don't really remember if it was in this episode or the last episode, but yeah, there is no way with a 4-hour drive time that you can make 250 miles 4 times over. Not on a legal clock. No way, shape, or form. Just is not possible. But that's what that company wanted me to do. And because I was running paper logs at the time, that's what they expected from me, and I refused to do it. They told me that I didn't know how the industry worked and that I should find another job. I said, okay, I know more about it than you do, apparently. I reported them about a month later. Haven't seen them around much recently. Apparently too many violations will put a company out of business. Now, that's not to say that I know how the industry works better than people who own trucking companies, but apparently I knew it a little bit better than the guy that owned that company, because things were changing. Things were getting ready to change. And yes, I am deliberately going to miss the opportunity to hit my Jake brake in this tunnel. Mainly because I was already at the speed that I needed to be at. Rock Springs. Another 160 miles. About this time that I start getting a bit tired of being on the road. But that's no big deal. We'll be done with this episode here before too long, and I'll get a break took and chill out for a little while. That's one of the beautiful things about playing a game versus actually being on the road. When you get tired of being on the road, when you're actually on the road, tough shit. You still got probably another 4 or 5 hours to go. Take my foot off the gas because nobody else is doing the speed limit. I was doing 70 around that corner, dropped down to 65 because everybody else was dropping down. I really don't understand the AI in this game and how they drive. It doesn't make any sense. It's like it's not quite accurate. It really isn't. Something's just not quite right about it. I know we can do 80 in this truck. Whether or not anybody else is going to do 80, beyond me. But I can't get over in the fast lane because everybody and their brother's camping out over there. Sure as I'm sitting here, this car up here is going to jump over in front of me right as I get to it. Ambulance, I think it is. Oh, how about that? Semi moved back over. Fair warning, dude. Coming over whether you like it or not. Shit. Fucking asshole. Match my goddamn speed as I'm coming around you. I hate people that do that shit. No lights. Watch me get hit. Haha. Yeah, no lights and that guy's there. Stay in this lane. Rollins. So we are off the interstate. Still got 82 miles to go. any luck, that 82 miles is not going to take all damn night. One more intersection, then we got to make our turn. Of course. That was ridiculous. Hopefully we can do better than 30 mile an hour soon. Now, whether or not we can get up to the 45, we should be able to. There's a turn if you're not expecting you're going to miss. .789 State Highway. US Highway too. How about that? .70 through here, but you can't go at 70 because of all the dang turns. Deer. Well, thankfully, I don't see any deer right now, which is always a good thing. Out of stuff to talk about on this episode, so I guess it's a good thing we're getting pretty close to the end of our run here. Whoop. Well, I thought that was the end of the lane. That's okay. It's coming up here real quick. I didn't realize that it was even there until I started to move over. Cruise control. Right at the time we hit our cruise control, we got to hit our Jake brake again. Dang it. Of course we do. Why? All these state highways just wind around everywhere. we're getting close to being where we need to be anyway, so not a big deal. I'll never get back up to back up to speed though, not easily. Get in gear, god damn it. Well, I shouldn't have done that anyway. We gotta go back down to 55. Casper, Wyoming. 4 miles to go. Are we gonna make it? I don't know. We might. If we're lucky. Looks like another dealership off to the side. Doesn't look like a truck dealership though. Kind of looks like cars. Dude's over there carrying or hauling a house, it looks like. That guy behind us could get over into that turn lane with no problem. Doing that much over the damn speed limit. I was, but speed limit changed in between the time I shifted gears. I guess we'll just coast in. Helps if I'm in low gear or low range. Dang it, I should have been over. Get around him. We're gonna miss the light, but we'll get around him. No big deal. Said earlier I fall into old habits. Believe me, that was not an old habit. That was just me not paying attention. They stop despite the green light. Wow. That makes no sense. The AI traffic in this game just does not make any sense at all. Come on, light. Get in there. Let's see how our next parking job goes. Hopefully better than the last. Get in gear, dang it. That's why you don't shift when you're going around a turn. are coming up to our turn here. Hopefully this guy doesn't just stop. There we go. Smart dude. Where is our turn? It's not here. There we are. Put it in low and coast on up. Now, something that I should point out is where I'm stopping is way too close to the car in front of me. Good rule of thumb is if you can see the asphalt underneath their rear tires, you're just close enough, or just far enough back. That'll put a good car length or so behind you. Or behind them in front of you. Oh man. I have been in situations like this and I do not like it. I hope this is tall enough that we can get under it. It should be. Or it wouldn't be programmed into the game, right? Brunch. God. That freaks me out in a even when I know I've got the clearance, that freaks me out. Get here. Damn. I've actually been into entrances that did this. Turn around the corner there and you got to go up a hill. I've actually been in a few that did that. Alright, so we are here at the depot. So let's go ahead and take care of this. Where do we want it? Where do we need it? Right out there in the middle of nowhere. Whoops. I already see our parking spot, so we're going to see if we can't make this work this time. Not make it unduly difficult on ourselves like we did last time. So like I said in a previous episode, you really just want to dive in as close as you can get and then turn out, because that'll get your trailer, the back of your trailer, pretty well set up for what you're trying to do. Now I'm going to do a get out and look here, and it looks like we do need to turn our wheels a fair bit, but otherwise we're in a pretty good setup. We've got a pretty good setup going here, so we'll just go ahead and start backing up. Hold the trailer there for a minute. Yeah. Now it's probably a little bit, we're probably a little bit off of what we need to be. But that's okay. We're not going to make any records here. The thing I'm going to do is straighten it up and back it in. And we are there. That was easy enough, wasn't it? A hell of a lot easier than the last one we did. Of course, we probably could have been able to do the same had that articulated trailer not been there. Well, I'm a little bit weird in this hole, so we're going to straighten it up. Make it right. We're golden. Should turn green here for us in a second. And we should be there. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and finish the load out. And that will be it. It's our first, almost our first 1,000 miles, or 1,000 miler. But we've got longer runs in store for us in the future. So, with that, I want to say thank you guys again for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you've got stories of your own to tell, if you're a professional driver or were a professional driver, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear any tips and tricks from professionals that watch these episodes to make my driving in this game a little bit better. Like I've said before, I don't anticipate ever getting behind the wheel again professionally outside of the sim rig, but you know, real world advice can always be applied elsewhere. Um, as far as that goes, if you're not a professional driver and you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below. If you play the game, let me know, you know, how you play it. Let me hear some of your tips and tricks too. I'm always open for comments and discussion. And if you want to support the channel free of charge, you can always just click the subscribe button and show your support that way, and you'll get to see these videos the day they come out. If you want to show your support in another way, Patreon is live. You can see the address there on the screen somewhere, and it'll be down. The link will be down in the description. But for now, I want to say thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one.